here are a few more examples of finding measurements of triangles and trapezoids. Okay, so we've already been through kind of the derivation of how we get these formulas for the area of triangles and trapezoids, and now we're going to be given certain parts of you know, maybe they give us the area or certain parts of the triangle, and we're supposed to find the given area or the given length. Okay, so it says find the base of the triangle in which the area is 15x squared square centimeters. Okay, we'll recall that the area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height. Okay, well, the base in this case would have to be, again, perpendicular to the given height. So this is going to be the base. Okay, so they give us the base of b, right? And obviously the height here is 5x, right? So what we don't know is the base, right? So I'm going to say that the area equals 15x squared. So we're going to say 15x squared is going to be equal to 1/2 times the base, which is b, times the height, which is 5x. Okay, now here's what's a little bit confusing about this is kind of we have this jumble of stuff here on the right-hand side. Okay, what I'm going to do just to make things a little bit simpler is I'm just going to divide each side by x. Okay, so when I do this, I'm just going to divide by x and divide by x, and that will give me now 15x equals 1/2 times the base times 5. Okay, now doing a little bit more algebra, I know that half of 5 is just 5 halves. Okay, so 5 divided by 2, which is 2.5. So I'm going to say now 15x equals 5 halves times b. Okay, now to solve for b, recall from algebra that we have to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 5 over 2, which is 2/5. Right, so now I'm just going to multiply by the reciprocal. Remember, reciprocals multiply to 1, so I'll now know that the base is actually going to be equal to 15 times 2/5. Remember, top times top. 15 times 2 is 30, and 30 divided by 5 is 6. So the base is going to actually be equal to 6x, and then I have to attach the units to it as well, so square centimeters. Okay, so it's lots of algebra here coming. Okay, so but pretty easy first example. Let's take a look at another one. Okay, so in this example, it asks us to find the base 2 of the trapezoid, in which the area is 231 square millimeters. Okay, recall that the area of a trapezoid is going to be equal to 1/2 times the sum of the bases times the height. Okay, well, again, it gives us base 1 right here, it gives us the height right here, and it wants us to find the base 2, and remember, it also gives us the area. Okay, so we're just going to plug in everything that we know. The area is 231. We'll attach our units here at the end. Okay, 1/2 is part of the formula, so we're obviously going to fill that in. Our base 1 is 23, plus our base 2, which we're trying to figure out, and then that's multiplied by 11. Okay, now here's a tricky part. Okay, this part that I'm circling in blue here, or that I'm putting a box around, we have to get that part alone first before we do anything else. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit of rearranging in this next step. I'm going to say that 231 is going to be equal to, I'm going to take the 11 times 1/2 is just 11 halves. So I'm going to call this 11 halves times 23 plus the base 2. Okay, now remember, again, I still want to get this by itself first before I can start solving for b2. So what I'm going to do is multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 11 over 2, which is 2 over 11. Okay, and so again, I'll cross this off. Now I'll go to my calculator here. Basically I want 2 over 11 multiplied by 231. Okay, and that equals 42. So I get 42 equals, now I have this part alone, so I can just write it without the parentheses, 23 plus the base of 2. Now, since 23 is being added to that, I'll just subtract that from each side. So I'll subtract 23 from each side to get my base 2 should be equal to 19. So again, I'm just going to say base 2 equals 19, and it's going to be millimeters. Okay, because we're talking about millimeters. Okay, let's look at one final example here. Okay, find the area of this triangle. All right, well, let's see. Well, we have a right triangle. We have 2 of the known side lengths, so let's just use the Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to say find the base Okay, so I'll find the base here by using the Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to say 12 squared plus b squared equals 20 squared. Okay, this will give us 144 plus b squared equals 400. If I subtract 144 from each side, that will give me now b squared equals 256. And if I take the square root of each side, I'll find that b squared, that b equals, again, the square root of 256 should just give us 16. I'm just going to plug it in my calculator just to make sure. It never actually hurts. Okay, and I get 16, just like I thought. Okay, and so again, that's part of our answer. But now I'm going to go and find the area. I'm going to find the area. Okay, well, again, I know that the area of a triangle equals 1/2 times the base times the height. Okay, the height in this case, again, is perpendicular to the base that we're talking about, so this is 12. So I'm going to say that my area equals 1/2 times the base of 16 times the height of 12. Again, I know that the half of 16 is 8, so my area is going to be equal to 8 times 12. And I find that my area is going to be equal to 96 square meters. Okay? Again, these extra examples I think are going to help you guys quite a bit. Make sure that you get your own practice when you look at the homework assignments.